Welcome back to the Mothership Lexodus. This is your current of consciousness report. We've been taught to optimize output. Nature optimizes flow. Fields don't become fertile because it rains nonstop. They become fertile because they know how to absorb, retain, distribute, and release water. Somewhere along the way, we've mistaken accumulation for cultivation. We assume that more information, more inspiration or productivity, and more effort will naturally produce greater creativity. Yet every ecosystem on Earth demonstrates the opposite. The healthiest ecosystems are not the ones with the most resources. They're the ones with the healthiest circulation. Today, I'd like to introduce what I'm calling the Irrigation Principle of creative ecology. Not creativity as production or performance, but creativity as the cultivation of a living ecosystem. Imagine a field after a storm. At first glance, more water appears to be a blessing. More rain should mean more life. But that's not how ecosystems work. Without drainage, abundance becomes flooding. Roots suffocate, nutrients wash away, growth slows. Eventually, life itself begins to rot beneath the surface. Scarcity destroys a field, but so does excess. This is one of nature's greatest paradoxes. Life doesn't emerge from abundance alone. Life emerges from regulated flow. Every ecosystem depends on 4 essential movements: intake, absorption, distribution, and release. Notice that productivity isn't one of them. Productivity is the harvest. These 4 processes are the invisible infrastructure that makes harvest possible. Most of us spend our lives trying to maximize the harvest while neglecting the irrigation system beneath it. Let's begin with intake. We're constantly consuming. We often mistake consumption for development. But ecosystems don't become healthier simply because more water enters them. The question isn't how much are you taking in? The question is how much can your ecosystem actually absorb? Absorption requires something our culture rarely values: stillness. Soil doesn't chase rain, it receives it. Likewise, wisdom isn't created through endless accumulation. It emerges through integration. An idea that has never been integrated remains information. Only integrated ideas become insight. Perhaps creative block isn't the absence of inspiration. Perhaps it's the absence of absorption. Then comes distribution. Healthy ecosystems never allow resources to remain isolated. Water moves, nutrients circulate, and roots communicate. Fungi exchange information across entire forests through underground networks. Everything participates, nothing hoards, and creativity behaves similarly. Ideas were never designed to remain trapped inside a notebook forever. They're meant to circulate. Conversation, music, writing, movement, teaching, experimentation. Creative expression is irrigation. It distributes life through the ecosystem. Then comes the stage almost everyone ignores: release, drainage. Nature doesn't apologize for letting go. Trees release leaves, flowers release petals, clouds release rain, and rivers release water into the sea. Everything living understands completion. Only humans attempt to hold on to every idea, identity, and unfinished project, every emotional experience, every expectation. Then we wonder why nothing new can grow. A flooded field cannot receive fresh rain. Perhaps burnout isn't simply working too much. It's the collapse of healthy circulation. Too much intake and too little release. Too much holding and not enough movement. The issue isn't capacity, it's infrastructure. This is where the metaphor becomes interesting. Every ecosystem contains valves, natural regulators like dams, riverbanks, root systems, wetlands. These structures don't stop movement, they shape it. Without regulation, flow becomes destruction. With regulation, flow becomes cultivation. Perhaps boundaries function the same way, not as walls, but as irrigation gates, opening and closing, directing, allowing life to move where it's needed most. Yet even the most sophisticated irrigation system depends upon something else: timing. Water is not inherently beneficial, neither is sunlight or growth. Their value depends entirely upon when they arrive. A seed planted in winter may never germinate. The same seed planted in spring transforms into a forest. Rain falling upon dry soil becomes nourishment. That very same rain falling upon saturated ground becomes flooding. Nature doesn't simply regulate flow, it regulates cycles. Every ecosystem lives within rhythms: expansion, contraction, growth and decay, bloom and harvest, rest, renewal. Nothing living exists in perpetual spring, yet modern culture asks us to remain permanently productive, permanently inspired, available, creating. We've mistaken consistency for health. Nature demonstrates something far more intelligent, though: rhythm. The moon waxes and wanes, and the tides advance and retreat. Even the human nervous system alternates between activation and restoration. Why should creativity be any different? Perhaps creative block isn't always resistance. Sometimes it's winter. Perhaps overwhelm isn't always failure, it's just flooding. Perhaps rest isn't the interruption of creativity. Perhaps it's one of creativity's essential seasons. A healthy creator doesn't simply ask, "What should I create today?" They also ask, "What season am I in? Is this a season of gathering, integrating, expressing, or pruning or releasing?" The irrigation system remains the same, only the rhythm changes. Wisdom isn't knowing how to force every season into spring. Wisdom is learning to cultivate in harmony with the cycle that's already unfolding in your life. Because timing doesn't oppose creativity. Timing is part of creative ecology. The modern world worships acceleration, but nature goes with timing. Seeds planted too early fail, and seeds planted too late fail. Rain arriving all at once destroys crops, but rain arriving rhythmically sustains them. So perhaps wisdom has less to do with speed and more to do with seasonal intelligence, knowing when to receive, pause, distribute, prune, wait. Creative people often believe they need more discipline. Maybe they need better ecology, because discipline without irrigation becomes exhaustion. Inspiration without drainage becomes overwhelm. And rest without movement becomes stagnation. Everything depends upon balance, not static balance, living balance. The kind that constantly adjusts itself to changing conditions. Now consider your own creative life. Where is the flooding? Where's the drought? Where are ideas pulling that were never released? Where are you trying to harvest land that has never been cultivated? Where are you irrigating someone else's field while neglecting your own? Because ecosystems reveal something we've forgotten. Every act of cultivation is also an act of relationship between the soil and the rain, the roots, the fungi, the river, the banks, the organism and its environment. Nothing grows alone. Yet nothing grows by trying to become everything at once. So maybe the greatest creative act isn't producing more. Perhaps it's designing an ecosystem capable of sustaining life. One where inspiration is welcomed, where rest is valued, where release is celebrated, where movement replaces accumulation, and where cultivation replaces productivity. Because creativity isn't a factory. It never was. It's a watershed. And every watershed eventually teaches the same lesson. Not all abundance arrives as growth. Sometimes abundance arrives as flooding. And the wisdom isn't always learning how to make it rain. The wisdom is learning how to cultivate the landscape that receives it. Until next time, remember this. Nature never optimizes output. It optimizes flow. And the greatest masterpiece you'll ever create is the ecosystem that allows everything else to grow.